The Swiss and their mountains. Now that's a special love story. And we're gonna discover more about that today. And we're gonna go down this crazy roller coaster in the mountains.
I'm feeling like a kid.
We're gonna find out all about why the Swiss love their mountains so much.
I think, yeah, that's really a very Swiss thing.
I'm excited. Let's go.
Switzerland is located bang in the center of Europe and is the country associated with the famous Alp mountain region. Interestingly, Switzerland lays claim to just 13% of the Alps, with Austria, Italy and France ahead of them. Nevertheless, the Swiss mountains are one of the must-sees, managing to attract a whopping 120 million visitors every year. In order not to make a complete fool of myself, I asked DJEMO to tag along. He's a Swiss-born who runs one of the most popular YouTube channels about Switzerland. If there's one guy who can help me be less of a Swiss mountain greenhorn, it's him.
So what's one thing I can do up there to be more like you? I know the shirt, but how can I become more Swiss in the mountains?
Well, I think you can eat some cheese up there. That's
okay.
One of the most stereotypical things to do here in Switzerland.
Okay.
We're going for a hike. That's pretty Swiss.
I set out to do one of the best, maybe the best activity when in the mountains here. For that, I traveled to the Oeschinen Lake, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that is considered one of the most beautiful mountain lakes in the Alps.
Is there a special thing people would say in the mountains to each other, or it's just Grüezi?
Yeah, actually, I would not even say Grüezi, I would just say Hoi.
Hoi.
Because, yeah, Grüezi is so formal and you should be not too formal when you're hiking and crossing each other.
Did you know that Switzerland has 62,000 kilometers network of walking trails, of which 23,000 are located in mountain regions? Walking and hiking is a way of life here. The average Swiss person takes 9,650 steps a day. That's nearly 8 kilometers. While the average American takes just 5,117 steps, only about 4 kilometers. So it's no surprise that Switzerland is among the least obese nations in Europe. Remember how our parents always told us about their crazy way to school? Well, the Swiss do that here for fun.
Alright, I'm sweating like crazy, but DJEMO is still cool as always. The Swiss mountain goats, for you guys that's just normal, right?
I think, yeah, that's really a very Swiss thing, going for outings on weekends, hiking.
Usually,
it's
if
normal.
they can, every weekend, or even in the morning, sometimes I heard before work, people head to the mountains.
Correct. And what's actually also very interesting is that all the people who migrate here, they just really get infected with that virus to go for hiking. It's interesting. You see a lot of Indian people, a lot of Germans.
I mean, I understand. There could be worse things than just spending your time out here.
The Alps cover 2/3 of the country, but only 1/10 of the population lives here. Switzerland has 208 mountains above 3,000 meters, and 48 of these mountains have a peak higher than 4,000. They are so famous, they even made it to Hollywood. And what else do you get with high mountains? Beautiful mountain lakes.
I'm huffing and puffing. DJEMO, of course, already here, but look at this. This is so worth it. This is why I'm happy to sweat like a pig.
Oeschinen Lake sits at an elevation of 1,578 meters and has a maximum depth of 56 meters. Now, Switzerland has about 7,000 lakes, and for the most part the freshwater is so clear that you can drink out of rivers and lakes. And if you cannot see the bottom of a lake, it is considered dirty. But what about the best thing to do in the mountains I shamefully clickbaited you with?
Hey, all ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
For Switzerland.
For Switzerland.
A mountain roller coaster is a recreational ride. These are extremely common in Switzerland and the surrounding countries. And this one at Oeschinen Lake has one of the best views in the world. Over a length of 750 meters, you can cover a height difference of approximately 150 meters at, how they call it, breakneck speed. So naturally, I had to mentally prepare myself for this.
Become one with the sled. I am the sled.
These mountain roller coasters are unique among amusement rides in that the rider has complete control over his or her speed and ride experience. Riders can opt for a slower, leisurely run, or one with minimal or no braking for a faster, thrilling ride.
Any tips you can give me? What do I need to look out for?
Well, you need to know when to brake.
Okay.
And don't be too much afraid to speed.
Okay. Go hard on the speed, but also on the brake.
Yeah. Basically,
German
just-
Autobahn.
Pulling the brake handle causes the sled to slow down or stop. Pushing or letting go of the handle causes the brakes to release, allowing the sled to accelerate.
If you pull it back, it brakes. Front, it goes. I have no idea. There's signs. I shouldn't be holding my GoPro like this. So yeah. And there you go. That almost threw me out. It's super fun, but I almost flew off. And that's it. Then you're down super fast and it pulls you back up. One ride, 6 francs, it's like $7 something. Expensive, but hey, totally worth it. And I mean, it's so surreal. Mountain roller coaster. I bought 2 tickets, so let's go down a second time. First round done. Speedy Gonzalez, how was it?
A lot of childhood memories going back.
Did you even feel me in the neck of you, or were you just speeding away? You couldn't, because I was barely trying to catch up with you.
Well, I mean, you're German, you have no speed limit on the highways, but...
Speed limit in the mountains.
But yeah, speed limit in the mountains, I think you would use your handbrake,
Handbrake,
right?
yeah. I was like, oh! All right, second round.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's be kids again. We just finished. I feel like a child.
You are a child.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I turned 7 years old and then I just grew, but I stayed 7 years old. Yeah.
But you grew a beard.
I grew. That's, yeah, I can hide it. Is this very common? Is this found in a lot of mountains?
It's really common, actually.
Yeah. So what do we do now?
We're going to the lake, I'll fly metro, and then food.
Let's do it. We did the hike, we did the mountain coaster. I don't know about you, I feel hungry.
Well, I already have my cutleries in the hand, so yes, I'm really hungry.
Before we dig in, we got this cold platter with very typical Swiss lunch, right?
So yeah, that's very typical in the Alps here in Switzerland. So yeah, usually platter with a variety of cheese, looks good.
Yeah.
Bacon, sausage.
Yeah, more sausage.
Landjäger. Yeah, that's very typical Swiss.
Beer, which is important, of course. And
Yeah.
and this, which I love, it's from the source of the lake here.
Yep.
Because it's super fresh, because you guys just have amazing water from the mountains.
It's basically glacier water.
I mean, I already tasted it, tastes amazing.
It's really from the source.
It is from the source, like literally, like somebody put it
Yeah.
in a bucket.
Yeah.
Switzerland's landmass is only 0.4% that of Europe, but the country holds 6% of the continent's freshwater reserves, giving it the name Europe's Water Tower. To emphasize this point, look at this map. Most of the major rivers in Europe have their source or tributaries from Switzerland. Thus, the water network of Switzerland feeds the North Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Adriatic Sea, and the Black Sea. That's why the water is so good here. It literally is the source.
You're the expert to ask about everything Swiss related. That's why I'm so happy we went here together, because I can be annoying and ask you all the Swiss questions.
You didn't ask a lot of questions.
Just wait.
You haven't been
wait
annoying
now.
enough.
Just wait. Just wait. You have your own YouTube channel where you've been doing a lot of content for Switzerland, really showing the people more about this amazing country. You just were recognized by some people who saw your videos.
We are here because of him. We are pleased to meet him today.
That's great. And sincere. I'll put the link in the description. Let's stop talking. Let's dig in, because I'm super hungry. Is there a special way to eat it, or I just cut off a bit and I eat it like that? Would I put it on the bread? Like, what's the right way to eat it? Because you know, I want to become more Swiss.
I would say there's no wrong way to eat it.
Okay.
But there are many ways how to eat it. You can just take it by hand. You
Okay.
can take it with a fork. You can make your like sandwich, butterbrot, right? That's fine. So we aren't that particular. So I would say there are many ways to eat it, but there's no wrong way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's super tasteful. When would you eat it? Is there a specific time or is there just the same? Like there's always time for cheese.
We Swiss people, we eat a lot of cheese, and we eat much more cheese than chocolate.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Well, it tastes really good, so I understand.
yeah.
The Swiss love their mountains and their chocolate. I mean, after all, Toblerone combines both, a chocolate that looks like a mountain. Switzerland is a country with the highest chocolate consumption, eating on average 8.8 kilogram of chocolate per capita in a year. This is the #1 spot, with Austria and Germany almost being a kilogram behind that. I guess you need energy when walking those mountain trails. But the Swiss eat almost 3 times as much cheese as chocolate. However, the French beat them here with a whopping 26.5 kilogram per capita. However, you very quickly realize that it is very difficult to find a dish in Switzerland without cheese, even after you're done eating the mains.
Yeah, actually, even for dessert,
Cheese.
you have cheese.
Just plain cheese as a dessert. Okay.
Yeah, it's common.
Yeah.
So they come with a wagon,
Yeah.
and they show you a lot of cheeses, and you can choose like mostly up to 5 sorts.
There are memes about the beauty of this region. And once you go there, you realize it's even more beautiful than you thought.